All right, next story. This one's kind of a scary one. Pro skier comes close to death from flying stand-up paddleboard.
Cody Townsend is one of the more famous professional skiers that lives in the Tahoe area. And he's got a huge social media following, like, hundreds of thousands of people follow him on Instagram. And, the guy, his entire life is based on coming close to death wearing skis. And yet he's just driving down the road and someone's SUP board flies off and hits like right where his face would be on his windshield. And yeah, it was a weird story. Obviously this probably happens more often than we know. Just the fact that he posted it and he has such a, huge following that it actually gets in the news. But my question is, does he keep the board?
Totally, 1,000%. I mean, there would be the one thing I thought of was, I wonder if the paddles came off too.
Well, it was in a bag. I don't know if you saw a
you
picture.
got a whole setup then.
It was in a bag.
Dude's got to pay for a brand new windshield. He can keep the paddleboard, and plus, somebody wants to claim it. Great, you pay for my windshield. I'll give you your paddleboard back.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I assume he has insurance, and I don't know if insurance covers something like that. But also, here's another question. If you lost your paddleboard and all of a sudden you see this blowing up everywhere, do you claim it, or do you just go about your day because you're embarrassed and you don't want the public backlash?
That's a question of integrity. If you are first of all, this person probably should have pulled over. I think clearly
I don't think they knew. Right.
I mean,
so if it's hanging out of a car or a truck or some sort of SUV and it flies out, you don't know. Now, you should be paying attention, and you should, as soon as you realize it's gone, turn the F around and go find it. Not only because it could hurt someone, but because you lost your property. Those things aren't cheap,
Well, it reminded me of just careless driving, people being careless, and that can affect other people's lives. I drove to and from Napa this weekend, and all the holiday traffic, there was no gray. It was a black and white when it came to traffic. It was either people wanted to go 90 or 60. And there was no 75. Nobody wanted to go in between, and everybody was either in a real hurry or in very slow, and it was dangerous. People were getting upset with each other, and I have to drive a lot to go to and from Napa. I probably won't be doing that for a while, but it reminded me to remind people that little things and careless, accidents can have serious repercussions.
Yeah, you get the weekend warriors out, you get the city folk, out doing stuff that they're not used to doing, and they make mistakes. I'm certainly, obviously, if this had turned out worse, if that SUP board had actually penetrated the windshield,
if it was like a surfboard that had a real sharp point on it,
that's like some Final Destination shit.
1,000%. Reminds me of the logs rolling off the log truck. Yeah.
But anyway, secure your equipment in your vehicle before you head out, and keep an eye on it the entire time.
Absolutely.
That's the lesson.
Glad you're all right, Cody.
Yep.